Something about the Chris White t-shirt out the pack. Shout out to Goodfella. Before it was the polos for me, now it's just strictly Goodfella. When them shits ain't out of stock at Target. Yo, I be on the internet going crazy trying to find if Goodfella got a website, all that shit. No. Target only. And you know me, last minute, always want instant gratification. Get to Target, shit sold out. Go to another Target, sold out. Y'all be going to 3, 4 Targets sometime. Instead of just sitting and going online and ordering them shits and stacking them up. That's what I need to do now because shit, before we know it, man, summer will be right here. February's pretty much in the books. We got March, April. That good weather start coming around May. Then once June hit, the beginning of the summer, yo, the Chris White t-shirt with the good crisp sneakers, you can't go on everyday shit. And it's simple, like you don't want to be outside and heavy shit sweating all crazy. You be having them 90, 80-degree days. But that fresh t-shirt out the pack, yeah, it's time for me to just stack on up. Get ready, man. At least get a pack a week until the summertime. Now how many Chris White t-shirts that'll be? Yo, if you haven't already, subscribe. NoIdeasOriginal.com. I'm trying to make sure y'all stay in tune to everything that's going on. Well, everything that I have going on. Make sure you tap into the blogs too. I'm gonna be putting up 3, 4 blogs a week, right? Right now you got the Unbannable up there and Winter Wars. Winter War shit got pictures that never touched Instagram and shit like that. So even if you were there, you might not have seen some of these pictures that's in the blog. Make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tapped into everything that's going on. We got an eventful summer coming up, so definitely subscribe. All-Star Weekend, though. White Cement 4s, Grape 5s, Union 1s, Galaxy Foam Posits, Flu Games. Did you see the line for the Flu Games? Yo, it's safe to say shit is back. Luckily for me, out of all them kicks that I just named, I just really want the White Cement 4s and the Grape 5s. But I'm telling you now, yo, do not sleep on the shit that you want. Get that shit out the way. Do not rely on the sneakers app and yo, put in raffles everywhere if it's not a local store near you getting them shits, but you got to get in the field for 2025, man. This shit is real. They throwing punches for sneakers. They lining up in 15-degree weather. Go outside. But yo, shout out to everybody that was able to score them kicks early All-Star Weekend. I think that shit was dope. You know we're going to see a lot of them sneakers on the resale site for astronomical numbers. They're already up there, but hey, man, get in where you fit in. Can't knock the hustle. Michael Jordan's birthday, since we talking about the sneakers. 40 years of fucking madness with sneakers, yo. 40 years. And we still going crazy. Some of us had these shits in triples, quadruples. And it's just still a thing. You know, don't get it fucked up. Some people retire, but like I said, when I did the Unbannable shit, it was dope to talk to people that's from my age group that have kids that's teenagers now and explaining how their teenagers are raiding their closet for their sneakers. And the parents is getting mad because, yo, the sneakers is still a thing that they're into. That's like if I had a 17 or 18-year-old right now. That shit would be crazy. I would have to buy. Whatever I would buy, I would have to buy my kid just so my kid won't fuck with my shit. Seriously. It's not like back in the day when our parents didn't care about shoes and shit like that. So it wasn't pretty much we could take from our parents unless you had a young parent during that time. But yeah, man, shit's getting crazy. I know a few people that's saying like, yo, my kid wears my size now. They are killing my rotation. Yo, 2025, cop one for you and your kid or hide your shits. Yo, but the influence Jordan, man. Some wanted to be like Mike, while others just wanted to wear Mikes. I just wanted to wear Mikes, and not all Mikes. You know, in school, it was certain kids that just had every Jordan, just Jordan out. Whatever color came out, all of that shit, they just wanted the new Jordan. For me, it just had to be the ones that I like the most, and then it just goes into all types of shit from running sneakers to basketball sneakers to the Agassiz, which was a tennis sneaker, cross trainers. It was just too much going on. Air Force Ones. Oh man, yeah. But let's not get it fucked up. As far as a signature shoe line, there's no one even close to MJ as far as the consistency and sales and all that shit. And then that was to a point where if you look at the kids that were super young that's getting older, shit like flu games and 16s and the 17s with the suitcases, that's their grails. Whereas my era is like the fours, the fives, the six, the eight, seven. You know what I mean? Pretty much 11 and down is our grails. I would say 3 through 11 for my age group. So with the changing of the times, he still has a fan base, but I'm trying to think like, what do they do after like the 17? Shit like that. It gets tricky in them high. It doesn't get tricky. It gets ugly. It gets bad in them high numbers of the Jordans. But nonetheless, man, happy birthday to Michael Jordan. A run that will never ever be duplicated. Post left a comment, and his comment was well worded. He wreaked havoc on the courts and off the courts in the streets of America, and not necessarily just saying the urban community, the streets meaning whole, school. Everybody wanted, like I said, to either be like Mike or wear Mikes. Since we got into the influence of Michael Jordan, I want y'all to go into the comments and just tell me some of the things that influenced and inspired you as far as the sneaker shit and just style and dressing, period. Because I don't give a fuck what anybody say. We all get influenced and inspired from somewhere. You know what I mean? Sometimes it might be diving back and looking at certain shit and finding certain pieces to wear it the way we want to wear it. But we're inspired from something. And then you have other people that's just inspired to be a mannequin and just want to mimic the whole exact thing that they saw somewhere else. But at the end of the day, we all inspired by something. And I always say that I'm not here to like glorify certain shit, but you know what I mean? You can't erase history. Facts is facts, as I always say. And I just like to speak my truth. You know what I mean? And sometimes I get comments, I see the comments and shit, and people like, yo, why would you talk about this? Why would I talk about that? Why would you watch the video if you're not into the same type of shit or you want to hear what I'm about to talk about? And right now might be a perfect time that if you're not into what I'm into or want to hear what I'm about to talk about to just exit the video, because I'm about to just get into some of my inspirations growing up, right? I always say and start with the foundation, which is home, and that would be with my older brother. Like having an older sibling or a cousin or even a cousin close in age, but the cousin was a little older than you, that shit would help you out because you would learn shit a lot faster than a lot of your peers that didn't have an older cousin or sibling. We talking about late 80s, early 90s, right? Peak crack era. Urban neighborhoods was crazy. Like it was wild. So a lot of kids, parents would be like strict on them with it's like for instance, where I grew up at, shit was on fire. It was scorching. Like for my neighborhood, like that was the prime area for the drug selling and shit like that, right? So with me going to private school, my mom was a teacher, so her thing was like, yo, I'm gonna make sure you get a good education, right? But I'm still living amongst the community of the madness. So having friends in private school or just friends from other areas of the town, even not private school, public school friends, they weren't allowed to come to the area that I lived in because it was bad. So even with things being bad, it's not always all bad. You feel me? Like, so when it comes to the influence of style and shit like that, I knew about a lot of shit early because of having an older brother and him being in a room with his friends, and I'm absorbing everything that they talking about. And then my brother putting the battery in my parents' back to be like, yo, or even just my pops being young at the time, early 20s, my brother as his step kid, yo, whenever they was taking my brother out shopping, he like, all right, we gonna pick something for your little brother. So now I'm dressing as the kid version of my older brother. I got polo shit. I got New Balance boots. I got I got certain shit. Even though a lot of other kids had the same shit, but I'm having certain shit to where it's like the older guys that's on the corner with all the fly shit that I thought was fly, from their clothes to how they wore them, the way they walk, all of that shit is applauding me, and you know what I mean, saying, yo, you fly as hell. You know what I mean? They giving me dollars and shit. And then as I got older, they always fuck with me and be like, damn, you still fly young nigga or whatever. So I would be in the park and absorb a lot of that energy and just be watching, you know what I mean? Seeing what people got on, how they wore it. And then little bits and pieces, it's like, damn, I want that shirt, but I'll wear that shirt with this. And basically to say, like, for me, like, the streets is really the foundation for a lot of the shit, all the way down to what I know about the sneaker shit. Not textbook shit, but as far as like what was really going on outside with the sneaker shit. Like, you get people that make videos and they say such and such had us in a chokehold, where in reality a lot of sneakers, I'm gonna say it like this, in reality it was so many sneakers dropping that a lot of shit didn't get the full run until it got retro and people went crazy over it. And a lot of things play a part in that. Like, the Grape Fives wasn't everywhere in 1990. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and say that it was limited. I was 10, so I can't say that. But I know from going in sneaker stores and picking my own sneakers, them shits wasn't in every sneaker store. The Great Pair, right? So, for instance, somebody like me, still to this day, I never had Grape Fives. I'm still chasing Grape Fives. 2025 is going to be my first time to chase Grape Five. So just think about countless kids that went through the same shit growing up and couldn't get what they get when them retros hit. We lost our fucking minds. So people was looking at it like, well, I want to say the people that wasn't alive at that time, but now are curators of the culture, and saying certain shit had people in a chokehold. It's like, nah, homie. Yeah, the retro era, but initial release, nah, wasn't. It was some shit that had shit in the chokehold, but it's crazy that a lot of shit that had people in the chokehold, a lot of people don't talk about. Like the Air Trainer Excel, summer of '92. That's a sneaker that had the summer in a chokehold drop in mad colors. Then you got regular shit, typical shit that you could say, like the Hirachi shit. Certain ACG shit, yeah. That's my new thing too, man. Yo, you don't always have to go to North Face to get Gore-Tex. That's something we're gonna get into later, but Gore-Tex ACG, this picture I took in the park that influenced me. You see, I got the ACG shit on with the Moabs. Carver Park. Everybody around my area, we call it Second Street Park. Let's get into what Second Street Park means to me. From the influential shit to the inspiration to just shit that I seen, right? Second Street Park, Carver Park, it's a block away from me, right? That's where everything was, right? The park. So Second Street Park played a major part of my entire life. I'm gonna say half of my life because once I got older, it was like I didn't go there anymore. But the early part of my life, major, major, major inspiration and influence from out of that park, right? I'm talking about from playing in the monkey bars and seeing how high you could swing and jump off the swing to tackle football in the grass to playing out on the basketball court to the big dice games on the basketball court. Like it was pretty much like where you seen all the style. I'm talking about back to where we fucking 10 years old, and you got a kid coming to park. He got the Air Tech Challenge polo on, Air Tech Challenge shorts. Yeah, the Air Tech Challenge 3 shit. So he got the white, black, gray polo on with the grayish black stonewash shorts that got the tights under it with the black and purple in it with the white, black, and purple Air Tech Challenge 3s on. Yo, them shits came out 90. I'm 10. I'm probably like a year or two older than him. So he was 8 or 9 with this shit on, but his mom was fly as fuck. So he had that, right? That's some inspiration right there. That's some shit that I couldn't get then. So when them shits retroed, I lost my mind. Got the neon and the purple, right? Then as I get older and I'm riding my bike and then I'm just infatuated with the dice game and then seeing all that money on the ground and people rolling dice. So now I'm trying to learn CeeLo while observing the style and seeing like who's really one of them ones as far as having the money and having different shit on. Like, yeah, that's the first time I seen the first place I seen Sergio Tacchini heavy in abundance, dice games. Now I mean, first place I seen the fucking Moabs that I had on with this ACG jacket there. Mike Fratello is an alumni, used to coach the Atlanta Hawks of my town. He gave us Reebok courts. You know what I mean? Basketball games. Crazy shit went on in there. Like, it's crazy. I'm talking about all the way up into my 20s. We would go to the park and still shoot dice. And then it just progressed from where we just playing out or 21 boot. Who remember boot? You lose, you get kicked in your ass at the end of the game. We playing 21 boot and out to where we get older. Now we playing out for money. You know what I mean? 5 people, $20 a man, $100 each game. $100 shoot free throws for $100. Like the inspiration outside was different, different. Like you could go to the park on a hot day, if you got new kicks on and you got a fly ass bike, go to the park. All the girls is there from middle school up, even elementary. But middle school is like different because now you feeling girls and girls is feeling guys. So like that Hirachi era, you go in the park, you see a girl with scream green Hirachis on. You know what I mean? Cut off shorts and shit. All her crew got fly shit on. You had to look the part to want to get you one of them shorties. Young. But yeah, man, shout out to the park and all the influences and the thousands of dollars that I won and lost in there. Yo, I remember the first retro of the Olympic sevens. I wear them shits to the park. Nice sunny Sunday, right? We used to call it sucker free Sunday because no narcs used to be outside. That's another thing. Like the dice games used to get so crazy, the police would blitz the park and lock the whole dice game up just for shooting dice and give them tickets for gambling outside. That's a whole nother story. But I remember going in there with the Olympic sevens on. You know what I mean? First place I seen them in, no, I seen them in my building in 92. But they was one from a dice game in 92. Now I'm shooting dice in these shits in, what was that, 01, 02 first retro? Yo, I might have won like 3,500 or some shit like that. Shooting dice first day I wore the Olympic sevens. The park, man. That was some of the influences, but it's so many different things that influenced us. I want y'all to speak about that in the comments, yo. That's why I don't knock the youth, because they're inspired by certain things, but we got to make sure they're inspired by the right things, meaning that everything match up, that it's no fables or fairy tales or some Wikipedia shit that some kid in fucking a suburb of Illinois tried to make up about the inner cities of New York, DC, or Baltimore, or some shit that wasn't true. That's why we need this regional shit back in order. Same way Nike is restoring the feeling with the art of the storytelling, the lines, the limited kicks for the fear of missing out. We got to restore a feeling. Everybody that's creating content, or even if you're not and you got stories from your regions, tap in, email me, info@noideasoriginal.net. Let's clear the air and restore order with what's going on out here. We need everybody to speak the truth of where they from. You know what I mean? There's too many people from 4 hours away talking about New York City and they wasn't here. Same way as people from here talking about other places when they wasn't there. Yeah, we gonna know certain shit, like if you traveled or you've been to certain things. Like for me, I'ma only tell y'all about, like, let's say for instance, if I'm talking DC, I'm only tell y'all what I seen at Howard when I went to the homecomings, or when I went to visit my older cousin in Southeast for a weekend or some shit like that, or when my cousin or my girlfriend at the time went to Morgan State and I would pop out down there and see. So I'm only gonna tell you them type of stories. I can't tell you what their neighborhoods was doing or not doing. I can only tell you what was going on around these parts. So we need to restore that feeling, man. Atlanta need to tell us about Atlanta. DC, tell us about DC. Be more, tell us about Be more. Or if you was one of them kids that grew up in different places, like you might have a kid that moved from New York to Jersey, right? Live in Jersey for a while, then his family go to down south. They could tell you the differences from everywhere. Like New York, super fast paced. I know kids that moved from New York that I was cool with and be like, damn, y'all kind of turned up out here. Like I would never think that it's like this. Then you got certain kids that was just too advanced and be like, man, this shit quiet. This shit ain't nothing compared to New York. Or you got kids that come from my area, right? And they will move down south. And just because it's different there than here, they were getting wild shit just to move back up here and be like, yo, down south they wearing this while we wearing this, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like it's differences everywhere. That's why the regional shit matter. And now it's like everybody feel as though you should talk about what everybody else is talking about, what the world is doing. Nah, fuck that. Speak on your truth. Let's unlock core memories that a lot of people may forget. You know how much shit I forget about, and I might be on Instagram looking at it and then remember it. Like I seen on the homie page last night, he was in a movie theater that has mad retro shit, and it was mad cereal boxes. Yo, they had the Smurf cereal. I haven't seen that shit since I was a kid, and that memory wouldn't unlock unless I seen it. You know what I'm saying? So let's unlock more memories and get into being an influence in the right way to people, man. Just get the truth out there, man. The truth always comes to the light anyway. Like, but now we live in the era of capping. You know what I mean? Then we got CapCut, the edit, the capping. That's another thing. Like,
Subscribe to that 7-day free subscription to the Patreon.